Hey guys, sorry for not making videos in a while. I've been pretty busy. I got a new job at Crystal as a ski patroller, and I've been really wrapped up in that recently, working like 45 hours a week or so. But I finally got some time in the backcountry here to make some more videos. And I wanted to start off with like a small series of ski videos that just cover basic topics before moving on to more interesting sort of niche things. And so, as the title of this video suggests, I'm just going to talk about the way how I personally like to transition from up to down. A lot of people do this in a lot of different ways, and everyone has their own way, but this is sort of the way that I like the most. And then I can show you my two main things, which are taking skis off and leaving skis on. Those are my two different methods I'll use depending. And so first one is definitely the easiest, and that's just taking the ski off. So I'll just start with one ski. I'm not sure about the boot pen here. It's actually not that deep, so I'm only penetrating about to my ankle down. So this may be a time where I just take off both my skis and have a nice break at the top. It's really calm here, and so it's not that bad. I'm not like up on a ridge line or anything super windy on a very warm day. But so skis themselves, first thing I like to do is just pop, there we go, pop my brake on if I have a brake. Generally speaking, my fatter skis like 110, 120s, I don't really have brakes on those skis, so I got to be extra careful. But these 100s I do have brakes. I'll just pull the tail clip off of the ski, pull it a little bit, and then I like to just rip half the skin just like that and put the tip of the ski at the peak of my hip. I can pull a little bit extra, pinch it with my finger, and start the fold there. It helps if the glue actually sticks to itself. And then the big deal there is I just have to make sure that it's not going to fold crooked. And as I pull it up, I can just fold the skin together with my hand. So it's nice and clean, and I got as much of the glue on itself as I can. There are a bunch of other ways to do this, but that's just the way that I like. And then putting the ski back on, in snow conditions like this, it's pretty easy for me to just throw the ski down and then it's ready to go. In more slippery conditions, I can always dive the tail of the ski into the snow. Or if I don't have brakes on my skis, I can always dive the tail of the ski into the snow. Clear out those holes on my boot. And then there's a bunch of ways to clip in with the ski. That was just one way. Depending on your boot, depending on your binding, and how sensitive it is. You saw these G3 bindings, the pin right there, that makes the jaws engage. It's actually pretty sensitive. Other bindings like markers, you kind of have to stomp on them a bit more to actually get the binding to engage. But usually what I do is I take the inside hole of my boot right here and I hook it on the first pin. And once I get that in there, I roll the rest of the foot in. And that's a pretty easy way to actually get my foot in the binding right there. Next thing I'll do is, if I did take my foot out of the binding and stick it in the snow, there could still be some snow in those pins. So I'm gonna just do 4 or 5 back and forths like this, and that helps clear the snow out of my pins and ensure that the jaws are engaging as much as they should. Then I can stomp my heel in and I have my ski on. So at this point, that's when I would find a good spot for that ski and then pop the other one off and do the same thing with the other ski. All I have to do is clip my boots into place, and then I am good to ski down the hill. So the other method that I like to do to take the skins off the skis is keeping my boot, like at least the toe, clipped in the whole time. And I may use this if I'm worried about losing a ski, again if I don't have brakes, or if it's a quicker transition. So if I'm like up to the top, it's like really windy up here, I just want to get down or something like that, it's a good transition to know. Another thing is, if the boot pen is so deep, like you're in Colorado snow, that's like all facets, or deep Washington powder and you're going down to your waist, it is a bit nice to keep as much flotation as possible. And so first thing I do on this one is I'm actually going to clip my boots into ski mode. Doesn't take too long if you practice. All right, nice. So that's kind of the first step. Next thing I can do, and it doesn't exactly matter when I do this, but it's just move my toes from walk mode to ski mode without unclipping. There we go. And so I just gotta sort of stab myself real good into the snow. Rotate my heels. This can be a little tough if they're not turning for you. And sometimes you have to hit them a bit. There we go. So I'll just stop my heels in. All right, and now I'm basically like ready to ski, only I have my skins on. So for the first ski, I can just lift this up. This is a bit nicer after your skins have gotten a little bit older. The glue is not quite as sticky. And I'll just fold that one up and put it in my backpack. I started with my downhill ski so that way I can really stomp this in and get it so that way it's flat. And then my uphill ski, I guess some people are kind of good at dealing with that reaching back. I'm not very good at it. And generally if you're on an actual slope, it's easier to put your tip down and grab the tail of your downhill ski. For my uphill ski, I need a bit more space for that foot, so I can cross the ski like so, and I'm always holding the ski pole for balance. Then I'll just rip my skin, make sure I'm not going to slide backwards or anything. And then fold this one up, put them both in my pack, and I'm good to ski down right there. Okay, so transitioning now from down back to up. I made it to the bottom of my run. I can do the exact same thing depending on how the snow conditions. I can come fully out of my skis, or I can do it one at a time. It's nothing that complicated. Pop one ski off. Oh yeah, here we go. Your skis, my skis may need a little bit of a wax, but I need to make sure that the base here is cleared off from all snow. There we go. And I can put the tail on my other ski just to keep it clear from the snow. Grab my skin and I just hook the tail on like that, or the tip on. What I do is I like to stick maybe the first 6 inches to a foot of skin on, and I can pull the rest of it. And when I grab this thing, I'm grabbing kind of like the entire tail part right here. These skins are pretty robust with the way they're riveted, but depending on your skins, if you just sort of grab this side or the tail clip, or if you grab the toe clip, you can actually break your skins. These ones are pretty tough, so I'm not as worried about that. Once I get it fully unstuck here, I'm just going to center it on my ski. And I stuck the front part, and I stuck the back part here. So the last thing I gotta do is just run my hand down the ski and make sure that glue is sticking, making sure I have edges on both sides of my skis, you know, everything you want for skinning. And then the last thing I'll do is turn my heel piece so that way my brake is ready to get caught up. Different bindings will have different transitions right here. If I had a kingpin, then I would switch that around, but with most tech bindings with brakes, that's all you gotta do. And the last thing I'll do is clip my boot in, stomp the brake down. I'm gonna make sure that engages. Plenty of people have made the mistake of having their brake on while they're trying to skin uphill. And I lock my toe in. And actually, generally, I undo my boot. The first thing I'll do is undo my boot. So that way I'm standing in comfort at the end of the run, but just remember to undo your boot. Next thing I do is just take off the other ski and repeat that same process, and I'm moving uphill. So thanks for watching, guys. I know that this was a very basic video for some of you folks that are watching that have done this a whole bunch of times, but I just wanted to get out some basic ski skills in the YouTube land for my personal library, and I'll move into more advanced stuff in the next few months, hopefully. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.